Hello, this is Tim with an update of a Bacardii fish tank on May 11th, 2013. And I just finished changing the water, so you can see some bubbles on the side of the tank, or changing half the water, I should say. And I'm feeding the fish now, and you can see how many of them there are now. I'm about ready to get rid of a lot of the fish. When that entails, like I've said before in previous videos, I've tried every method I could think of to try to. You can't just get in there and get them with the net without taking out all the decorations and down to the gravel. So it's usually almost a full day ordeal to do that. And I sell them to my local fish store. And I was really the other day had one of my subscribers / friends here on the channel. Saying that they'd love to get some of the fish if they could, and I felt so bad because I had to say no because it's such a long ordeal already. I just couldn't add another step because I've never shipped fish before. But I'm just never say never. But at the same time, it was such a big ordeal. I said I had to say no, so I felt so sorry about that. So sorry about that, sir. But anyways. See how many fish there are? Now there hasn't been a new batch lately. The fry down here in the lower left, they're getting bigger, but they've reduced in number, which is kind of the normal nature patterns here, where there's the survival of the fittest, so to speak. But I have too many fish in the tank right now. But they have a size limit of it has to be at least 1.25 inches big. So it's about, it's been about time for maybe a week or so to do that. But another thing I wanted to focus on today was just the amazing amount of digging these guys have been doing. You can see, in the back here, look at this big mound back here, and this down in the, there's a big hole there, and then they've dug a big hole down here, and look how big mound there off to the kind of the center of the picture there, and all the fish hanging out there. And then I keep on replanting that plant, and it keeps on getting buried. They go down in there, and they're building I don't know what they're building huge caves down in there. And then they've also been digging away here. You can see all the pebbles on the top of that wood, or the pebble. I'll just call them pebbles, the gravel, and then look at that mound there. They're just digging like crazy there, and over here they're even digging holes. See, underneath that shell there, you can see that along with the fry and everything. But I do that, and lots of times you see fry after that. But I haven't had fry here for a few weeks. I would have given an update if that had been the case. I always try to do that when I get new fry. But the fish are doing well. I just gotta commit a day in the near future to get the fish out of the tank so I can get down to a more manageable number and keep it good for the remaining fish in the tank. And the last couple times I've done it, it's usually been about 100 to 125 fish out of the tank. And I try to keep a few big ones, and then they leave the little ones less than 1.25 inches. And that usually nets me about 100, 125 tank, or 125 fish. So, anyways, that's kind of the general update of the tank right now. You can see here, there's just to me not way too many fish in the tank, but it's at that breaking point where the water parameters are still okay, but it's at that point where I think this is. I think they like the school in terms of fish. They never seem to exhibit any bad tendencies that I can think of, other than the one fish here. I have one that doesn't have a tail, but that tail was bitten off when he was very, very young, or she, I think. Actually, it's a she. I don't see her right now. Yeah, there she is, right there. But that would happen when she was very young, and I've kept her, and she's going to be one of my breeding females. And but she's gotten pretty big, as you can see. She's one of the bigger ones, and I have about 4 or 5 pretty big ones. Look at that one take a breath. That was pretty cool. Anyways, you can just see, look at all those fish in the Brazilian sword there. There are just so many of them. But when I take the plants and decorations out, it's quite, like I said, it's quite a long time. It takes about 8 hours altogether to get it done, because I got to take all the decorations out, all the plants out, and then I always try to put them in buckets too, because what happens is there's always maybe about 1 to half dozen fish that find their way or stick in one of the shells, and end up finding them in the water in the buckets. So I put them back in the tank, and they kind of survive the either little fry or actually some full-size fish. They just like that big conch shell there. It's easy to hide in there. No matter how much I drain the water out, they seem to find a way to hide in there and not get out. So, anyways, that plant here, like that plant right there, the big, I can't remember the name of it, but the tall, skinny one, that started off as one like in the lower left. I've had that plant I started off with like one little one, and it just keeps on growing. Now it's hitting the top of there again, so I'll probably knock that back down again and sell that as well. And I used to have started off with one Brazilian sword, then it expanded into 2, and I went back to 1. This plant here, by the way, is that thing's growing like crazy. That thing used to be a little thing. And I haven't had any flowers lately in terms of updates in the plants. I did some of those, showed those lately. I'm not sure what actually initiates the creation of a flower, and some of these anubias, that's the ones that were over here. And actually some of those was the 4 stalks remaining from that. You can see the bubbles on the tank, the side of the tank. Those will go away in a little bit. But anyways, that's the update. Sorry for the relatively long video, but hopefully it was enjoyable for you. And if you have any comments or whatever, leave it below. And always try to respond real quickly to them. And once again, sorry for not being able to, at least right now, being able to give some of the fish away. And if I did that, I'd probably just give them away. I wouldn't sell them. I don't. That's we're all hobbyists here in the same game, so I'm not here to make money. It's just more of a hobby. So, but I don't. Right now, I can't commit to that because of I haven't, unless I can figure out a better way to catch the fish. I've tried traps, I've tried everything you can think of, but if you have any great suggestions on how to catch the fish without taking out the decorations, I'd love it. But I've tried every method I can think of and looked on YouTube like crazy and haven't found anything that works yet. At least that I can catch 125 fish with, of the right size and everything. So anyways, all the best and God bless. Have a good day.